Sing, Bet, Toph, Sing, Lamed, Vav, Mem. 7 letters when put together to create a phrase that we say countless times once a week on the 7th day, Shabbat. Just think about the amount of times our lovely greeters said today when welcoming all of you into Seoul. Thank you, ladies, and Shabbat Shalom to you too. There are so many fun facts about the number 7. We all know 7 is perceived as a lucky number, especially those of you who like to try your luck in Las Vegas. Did you know that the probability of rolling a 7 with 2 dice is higher than any other number? If you do not know and like to bet on the dice, you're welcome. There are so many examples of the number 7 in human civilization. For example, there are 7 days of the week, 7 continents, 7 wonders of the world, 7 notes in a musician's scale, and the land of Israel is blessed with 7 species, including wheat, barley, grapes, figs, pomegranates, olives, and dates. Lastly, there are 7 vertebrae in the human neck, and ladybugs commonly have 7 spots. In Parashat Bahar Berchukotai, there are many laws and rules that are discussed, including laws about slavery and the land. Many of these laws relate to a specific number, the number 7. Although there are many numbers that appear in the Torah that are special and important, 7 is an extremely crucial number that appears numerous times in the Torah. The number 7 is first referenced at the beginning of creation in Genesis chapter 2, verses 1 to 3, when God creates Shabbat. The text reads, "On the 7th day, God finished the work that had been undertaken. God ceased on the 7th day from doing any of the work. Vayachal Elohim b'yom hashvi'i malato aser asa, v'yisbot b'yom hashvi'i mikol malato aser asa." And God blessed the 7th day and declared it holy, having ceased on it from all of the work of creation that God had done. Vayivarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i v'kadesh oto, ki bo Shabbat mikol malato aser bara Elohim lasot. And when do we recite this? Every Friday night, when we say the blessing over wine, which begins our Sabbath, the beginning of the 7th day, on which we emulate God and rest. Further, we see the same concept in Exodus chapter 20, verses 8 to 11. God tells us that 6 days a week we work, and on the 7th day we rest from our labors. In Deuteronomy chapter 5, God tells us again that we must work for 6 days. But this time, God mentions that both your male and female slaves may rest too on the 7th day. God reminds us that we were once slaves in Egypt, and that we did not have the opportunity to rest on the 7th day. But now we do. Continuing in Exodus chapter 21, verse 2, we are told that Israelite slaves may work for us for 6 years. But now the text adds that in the 7th year they must go free. In other words, the 7th year is like the 7th day, in that they are free from the burden of labor to a master, just as Shabbat frees an Israelite household from the burden of labor. This concept of freedom for an Israeli slave is restated in Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 12. Another example of the number 7 is seen in Deuteronomy chapter 15, verses 1 to 2. We are told that in the 7th year you will cancel all debts from others and will not claim them due from their fellow Israelites. Just as on the 7th day the burden of labor is lifted, So too, in the 7th year, the burden of debt is canceled. And now we see the number 7 again in this very week's parasha, Bahar, in chapter 25, verses 2-4. Speak to the Israelite people and say to them, when you enter the land that I assign to you, the land shall observe a Sabbath of Adonai. Daber el bnei Yisrael v'amarta alehem, ki tavu el haaretz asher ani noten lachem, v'savta haaretz Shabbat le'Adonai. 6 years you may sow your field, and 6 years you may prune your vineyard and gather in the yield. But in the 7th year, the land shall have a Sabbath of complete rest, a Sabbath of Adonai. Ubesangah hasavi'ik Shabbat Shabbaton, hiyel haaretz Shabbat le'Adonai. Sodecha lo tizra, v'karmecha lo tizmar. This shows that God's law does not only apply to people, it applies to everything, including the land. Not only is 7 a key and significant number, it's a part of a bigger concept. We, the Israelite people, in all the ways we live, emulate God, and the number 7 tells us how. Bahar, chapter 25, verses 8-11, is the grand finale in what number 7 teaches us. You shall count off 7 weeks of years, 7 times 7 years, so that the period of 7 weeks of years gives you a total of 49 years. Then you shall sound the horn loud in the 7th month on the 10th day of the month, the Day of Atonement. You shall have the horn sounded throughout your land, and you shall hallow the 50th year. You shall proclaim release throughout the land for all its inhabitants. It shall be a jubilee for you. Each of you shall return to your holding, and each of you shall return to your family. Although 7 is a significant number in our history as a Jewish people that enables us to emulate God and rest, after October 7th, 2023, the number 7 has a much darker meaning for all of us. We, as a people, whether we were directly or indirectly affected by the horrors of that day, share a collective sense of trauma. That trauma inspired me to want to dedicate my bar mitzvah to helping an organization that many of you heard about already. This organization, Healing Space for Spoon, began its work on October 8th. This organization provides a quiet retreat space and healing techniques to those who suffer from stress post-October 7th and from the long war that has followed, and it helps them rebuild their resilience. Healing Space for Spoon has helped family and friends who lost loved ones, as well as police, first responders, soldiers, and more. When my Ima's friend, Ilana Kwarteng, came to the library meeting in December to talk about Healing Space for Spoon, many of you bought the Hanukkah menorahs that the organization uses to raise needed funds to support the work. I was deeply impressed by the important work that they do, especially because it still feels like October 8th for too many people. I would be very grateful if you, my Beth and Pressman communities, friends and family, would make a gift to this organization. You will see on the back of my Bat Mitzvah program more information about this organization, including a QR code program to a special link to help you make a donation after Shabbat, the 7th day, the day of rest. May we soon see all the hostages released and peace returned, so that everyone may heal and rest. Thank you to those who have already made a donation, and thank you in advance to those of you who will. Since you're on the topic of thank yous, I guess this would be the perfect opportunity to thank all of those who have helped me along my Bat Mitzvah journey, Ima and Abba. Thank you for everything. For life, clothes, shoes, books, art supplies, education, food, water, and shelter. Thank you for supporting my love of art and musical theater and attending all of my plays. Appreciating my preference for Sephardic foods and putting garam masala and green olives in almost all of our meals. And on that note, a special shout out to my Aunt Esky, who makes the best Moroccan fish on the planet. Back to Ima and Abba. Thank you for teaching me to be grateful for what I have, for the ones who love me, and for the ones I love. And lastly, thank you for being there for the good and bad. I love you. Noah, thank you for being awesomely amazing, for always looking out for me, even though you won't admit it, for letting me borrow your books, and teaching me how to get my homework done when you were screaming, laughing, and talking so incredibly loud when playing video games with your friends. I think one could say I'm prepared for the dorm life in college. Lastly, thank you for slowing down your growth. Maybe I'll have a chance to catch up. Love you, Noah. Saba Joel, thank you for being my rabbi and mentor in my bat mitzvah journey and studying Torah with me. For helping me write my draws and studying my parasha with me. It's so cool, and I'm truly blessed to have such an amazing in-house rabbi and Saba like you. Sofka Freddy, thank you for helping me with my first fundraising campaign appeal. Your skills are legendary. Also, thank you for helping me learn how to deliver my jaws, and most importantly, for your Sunday morning gigantic pancakes. They are dreamy and delicious, and I'm proud to say I can finally finish one. I love you both. Saba Smul and Softa Kitsa, thank you for constantly showering me with love. Thank you, Saba, for always having 5 different versions of steak on the table. And just like Noah said at his bar mitzvah, I have to once again thank Softa Gita for the best law class in this entire universe, and we're not just making them on Hanukkah. We get them every time we see you. Even though I may have to fight my big brother and cousin Tom to get one, it's worth it. Ani ohevet otchem. Thank you to all of my uncles and aunts and cousins who have traveled from near and far to be here today. Yona and Mike, Avi and Sharon, Esty and Gil, Jaws and Amzel, Gang and Avital, the other Avital, Aser, Itai, Elong, Dongi, Uri, Ella, Mayong, Dolev, Ashley, Tom, and the newest member of our family, Little Libby. You have now taken over the position of youngest in the family. It comes with a lot of responsibility and cheek pinching, and I happily pass the torch on to you. I love you all. We are also greatly missing Uncle Charlie and Aunt Rebecca, who could not be here today. We love you and hope to see you soon. Lastly, Bobby, we miss you and will forever love you. Thank you, Maura Rick Muller, for being the best bat mitzvah tutor. You not only helped me, but also worked with my big brother and gave my father the encouragement he needed to read his first aliyah ever. On that note, thank you to Uncle Jossie for making the recording so Abba could learn his aliyah and for leading Sacharit so beautifully. Thank you also to Rabbi Cantor Hillary Torney for helping me on my bat mitzvah journey. Thank you to 2 talented artists. Lucianne, you are the best art teacher a young artist could have. And thank you for helping me create the art for my bat mitzvah and for teaching me all the art skills I now have. Thank you also to Rosemary Cohen for helping me create my talit. You both are inspirations. And of course, thank you to all of my extended family, friends, teachers, rabbis, the Pressman and Beth communities, especially the library minion for making today so special. Lastly, thank you to Michael Szymanski for being the gabbai for my bar mitzvah. You are doing a great job. Am Yisrael Chaim Shabbat Shalom.